Chapter 4: Poor Financial Habits. Financial habits are the foundation of your financial health. They determine whether you live in a state of constant stress or enjoy the peace of mind that comes with financial stability. Unfortunately, many people fall into poor financial habits that keep them trapped in cycles of struggle and scarcity. These habits may feel normal or even necessary in the short term, but over time, they create long-term consequences that are difficult to escape. The good news is that poor financial habits can be changed. By recognizing these habits and taking steps to replace them with healthier ones, you can take control of your finances and build a future of abundance and security. In this chapter, we will explore 5 common financial habits that keep people stuck in poverty and discuss how to break free from them. Habit 1: living paycheck to paycheck without saving. Living paycheck to paycheck is one of the most common financial traps people fall into. It's a cycle where every dollar you earn is spent before the next paycheck arrives, leaving no room for savings or unexpected expenses. This habit creates a constant state of financial stress, where even a small emergency, like a car repair or medical bill, can throw your entire life into chaos. Why this habit is harmful. When you live paycheck to paycheck, you are always one step away from financial disaster. Without savings, you have no cushion to fall back on when life throws you a curveball. This can lead to a reliance on credit cards, payday loans, or borrowing from friends and family, which only deepens the cycle of financial instability. Living paycheck to paycheck also limits your ability to plan for the future. Without savings, it's impossible to invest in opportunities that could improve your life, such as education, starting a business, or buying a home. Instead, you are stuck in a cycle of working just to survive, with no room to grow or thrive. Breaking the cycle. The first step to breaking free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle is to start saving, no matter how small the amount. Many people believe they can't afford to save, but the truth is that even a few dollars a week can make a difference over time. The key is to make saving a priority, not an afterthought. Here's how to get started. Pay yourself first. Treat saving as a non-negotiable expense, just like rent or utilities. Set aside a portion of your income as soon as you get paid, before you spend money on anything else. Even 5–10% of your paycheck can add up over time. Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a savings account. This removes the temptation to spend the money and ensures that saving becomes a consistent habit. Cut unnecessary expenses. Take a close look at your spending and identify areas where you can cut back. Redirect that money into your savings account instead. Start small and build momentum. Don't get discouraged if you can't save a large amount right away. The important thing is to start. As you see your savings grow, you'll feel motivated to save even more. Remember, saving is not about how much you earn, it's about how much you keep. By making saving a priority, you can create a financial cushion that gives you peace of mind and opens the door to new opportunities. Habit 2: overspending on non-essentials. In today's consumer-driven world, it's easy to fall into the trap of overspending on things you don't really need. From dining out to buying the latest gadgets, small, unnecessary expenses can quickly add up and drain your finances. While it's important to enjoy life and treat yourself occasionally, consistently overspending on non-essentials can keep you stuck in a cycle of financial struggle. Why this habit is harmful. Overspending on non-essentials leaves little room for saving, investing, or paying off debt. It creates a lifestyle where your money is constantly flowing out, leaving you with nothing to show for it. Over time, this habit can lead to financial stress, missed opportunities, and a lack of progress toward your goals. One of the biggest dangers of overspending is that it often goes unnoticed. Small purchases, like daily coffee runs or impulse buys, may not seem significant on their own, but they can add up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars over the course of a year. This is money that could have been used to build an emergency fund, pay down debt, or invest in your future. Breaking the cycle. To break the habit of overspending, you need to become more intentional about how you use your money. This doesn't mean you have to deprive yourself of all enjoyment, but it does mean prioritizing what truly matters and cutting back on unnecessary expenses. Here's how to get started. Track your spending. The first step to controlling your spending is understanding where your money is going. Keep a record of every purchase you make for a month and categorize your expenses. This will help you identify areas where you can cut back. Set spending limits. Create a budget that includes limits for discretionary spending, such as dining out, entertainment, and shopping. Stick to these limits to ensure you're not overspending. Differentiate between needs and wants. Before making a purchase, ask yourself, do I really need this, or is it just a want? Prioritize spending on necessities and save for the things you truly want. Practice delayed gratification. If you're tempted to make an impulse purchase, wait 24 hours before buying. This gives you time to consider whether the purchase is really worth it. Focus on your goals. Remind yourself of your financial goals and how overspending can delay or prevent you from achieving them. Use your goals as motivation to stay disciplined. By becoming more mindful of your spending, you can take control of your finances and redirect your money toward the things that truly matter. Habit 3. Avoiding budgeting or tracking expenses. Budgeting is one of the most powerful tools for managing your finances. Yet many people avoid it because they find it overwhelming, time-consuming, or restrictive. Without a budget, it's easy to lose track of where your money is going and fall into the habit of overspending or living paycheck to paycheck. Why this habit is harmful. When you don't budget or track your expenses, you're essentially flying blind with your finances. You may think you're managing your money well, but without a clear picture of your income and expenses, it's impossible to know for sure. This lack of awareness can lead to overspending, missed bills, and financial stress. Avoiding budgeting also makes it difficult to set and achieve financial goals. Without a plan, your money is likely to be spent on whatever feels urgent or appealing in the moment, rather than being directed toward your long-term priorities. Breaking the cycle. The good news is that budgeting doesn't have to be complicated or restrictive. It's simply a tool to help you take control of your money and ensure it's being used in a way that aligns with your goals. Here's how to get started. Choose a budgeting method. There are many different budgeting methods to choose from, such as the 50-30-20 rule, zero-based budgeting, or envelope budgeting. Find a method that works for you and your lifestyle. Track your income and expenses. Start by recording all of your income and expenses for a month. This will give you a clear picture of your financial situation and help you identify areas where you can make changes. Set financial goals. Use your budget to prioritize your financial goals, such as saving for an emergency fund, paying off debt, or investing for the future. Review and adjust regularly. Your budget is not set in stone. Review it regularly and make adjustments as needed to ensure it continues to work for you. Use technology. There are many apps and tools available that can make budgeting and expense tracking easier. Find one that suits your needs and use it to stay on top of your finances. By creating and sticking to a budget, you can take control of your money, reduce financial stress, and work toward a brighter future. Habit 4. Relying on debt to maintain a lifestyle. Debt can be a useful tool when used responsibly, such as taking out a loan to invest in education, start a business, or buy a home. However, when debt is used to maintain a lifestyle beyond your means, it becomes a dangerous habit that can trap you in a cycle of financial struggle. Relying on credit cards, personal loans, or other forms of borrowing to cover everyday expenses or fund luxuries may feel like a quick fix, but it often leads to long-term consequences that are difficult to escape. Why this habit is harmful? When you rely on debt to maintain your lifestyle, you are essentially borrowing from your future to pay for your present. This creates a financial burden that grows over time as interest and fees accumulate. Instead of building wealth, you end up paying more for the things you buy, often for years after the initial purchase. Debt also limits your financial freedom. Monthly payments on credit cards, loans, or other debts reduce the amount of money you have available for saving, investing, or pursuing your goals. Over time, this can create a sense of financial stagnation, where you feel like you're working hard but never making progress. Perhaps most damaging of all, relying on debt can create a false sense of security. It allows you to maintain a lifestyle that appears comfortable on the surface, but beneath it lies a fragile foundation. One unexpected expense, job loss, or financial emergency can quickly lead to a crisis when you're already living beyond your means. Breaking the cycle. Breaking free from the habit of relying on debt requires a shift in mindset and a commitment to living within your means. While it may feel challenging at first, the rewards of financial freedom and peace of mind are well worth the effort. Here's how to get started. Acknowledge the problem. The first step to breaking the debt cycle is recognizing that it's a problem. Take an honest look at your finances and assess how much of your income is going toward debt payments. If you're relying on credit cards or loans to cover basic expenses, it's time to make a change. Stop accumulating new debt. Commit to living within your means and stop using credit cards or taking out new loans for non-essential purchases. This may require making sacrifices in the short term, but it's a crucial step toward regaining control of your finances. Create a debt repayment plan. Develop a plan to pay off your existing debt as quickly as possible. There are several strategies you can use, such as the snowball method, paying off the smallest debts first, or the avalanche method, paying off the debts with the highest interest rates first. Choose the approach that works best for you and stick to it. Build a budget. A budget is essential for managing your money and avoiding new debt. Use your budget to prioritize debt repayment and ensure you're living within your means. Focus on needs, not wants. While you're working to pay off debt, focus on meeting your basic needs and cutting back on non-essential expenses. This may mean delaying luxuries or finding more affordable alternatives, but it's a temporary sacrifice that will pay off in the long run. Seek support. If you're struggling to manage your debt, don't be afraid to seek help. Financial advisors, credit counseling services, and support groups can provide guidance and encouragement as you work toward becoming debt-free. A new perspective on debt. It's important to remember that debt is not inherently bad. It's how you use it that matters. By breaking the habit of relying on debt to maintain your lifestyle, you can begin to use debt as a tool for growth rather than a crutch for survival. This shift in perspective will empower you to make smarter financial decisions and build a more secure future. Habit 5. Ignoring the importance of an emergency fund. Life is full of unexpected events, medical emergencies, car repairs, job losses, and other unforeseen expenses can arise at any time. Without an emergency fund, these events can quickly turn into financial crises, forcing you to rely on debt or make difficult sacrifices to cover the costs. Despite its importance, many people neglect to build an emergency fund, often because they believe they can't afford to save or because they underestimate the likelihood of an emergency. Why this habit is harmful. Ignoring the importance of an emergency fund leaves you vulnerable to financial instability. Without a safety net, even a small unexpected expense can derail your budget and create a ripple effect of financial stress. For example, a car repair might force you to use a credit card, leading to high interest debt that takes months or years to pay off. An emergency fund also provides peace of mind. Knowing that you have money set aside for unexpected expenses reduces stress and allows you to focus on your goals without constantly worrying about what might go wrong. Without this financial cushion, you may find yourself living in a state of constant anxiety, always waiting for the next crisis to strike. Breaking the cycle. Building an emergency fund may feel daunting, especially if you're already living paycheck to paycheck. However, it's one of the most important steps you can take to achieve financial stability. The key is to start small and remain consistent. Here's how to get started. Set a goal. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. If that feels overwhelming, start with a smaller goal, such as $500 or $1,000, and build from there. Start small. Even if you can only save a few dollars a week, it's better than nothing. The important thing is to start. Over time, those small contributions will add up. Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a separate savings account, designated for emergencies. This ensures that saving becomes a consistent habit. Cut back on non-essentials. Look for areas in your budget where you can cut back and redirect that money into your emergency fund. For example, you might reduce dining out or cancel unused subscriptions. Keep it separate. Your emergency fund should be kept in a separate account that is not easily accessible. This reduces the temptation to dip into it for non-emergencies. Replenish after use. If you need to use your emergency fund, make it a priority to replenish it as soon as possible. This ensures that you're always prepared for the next unexpected expense. A safety net for your future. An emergency fund is more than just a financial cushion. It's a symbol of security and self-reliance. By prioritizing this habit, you can protect yourself from the unexpected and create a foundation of stability that allows you to focus on building wealth and achieving your goals. Conclusion. Taking control of your financial habits. Poor financial habits may feel like an inevitable part of life, but they are not permanent. By recognizing these habits and taking steps to replace them with healthier ones, you can take control of your finances and create a brighter future. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency and determination, you can break free from the habits that are holding you back and build a life of financial freedom and abundance.